Micawber. This is a book about a squirrel who is an artist. He lives in the Carousel in Central Park in New York City. And while I'm reading today, I will occasionally show you the Bun Buns who are listening to the story with you. Here we go. Micawber. One Sunday in springtime, Micawber arose from his Central Park carousel nest. He straightened his whiskers and polished his nose and set off for the place he loved best. He scampered past pigeons and poodles and geese, past boathouse and bandshell and zoo, past joggers and skaters and mounted police to a palace on Fifth Avenue. For inside was a splendid collection of art, a sight for a squirrel to treasure, a feast for his eyes and for his heart every week, which Micawber could savor at leisure. Through the windows, oh, there he is, peeking through the windows on the ceiling. Through the windows he'd gaze at Van Dyck and Van Gogh, appraise every Rembrandt and Titian. He would scrutinize Rubens, peruse each Rousseau, inspect each Lautrec, Cassette, and Moreau. He would find a new favorite each time he would go, and nobody charged him admission. But a stranger appeared this particular day as Micawber peered down through a skylight. She stood at an easel beneath a Monet that depicted a haystack in twilight. They're the bunnies. Micawber observed her for hours on end as she copied each texture and shade. He noted the stroke of each brush she'd extend, with the rare concentration and care she'd expend. She'd become his unwitting and unknowing friend by the time the day started to fade. So he hid in the box where her paints were all stowed while she bicycled home unawares. Then he sneaked himself into her modest abode as she hauled her equipment upstairs. So he snuck into her apartment. She didn't even know. From the box after midnight, the stowaway crept, stretched his limbs, and adjusted his eyes. And while his beguiler contentedly slept, he rifled through all her supplies. Micawber's dull life, with its tedious toils, all at once seemed 100 times duller as he straddled a palette and squeezed out some oils, and he discovered the wonders of color. He daubed at a canvas with cadmium green, employing his tail as a brush, then magenta, vermilion, ultramarine, alizarin, crimson, and bright tangerine, such a radiant rainbow he had never seen, so splashy and lavish and lush. By morning, Micawber was finally done, and so proud he practically fainted. He'd been looking at paintings since day number 1, but never a painting he'd painted. He was so happy he finally got to paint a picture. As sunlight poured in, he was ready to go, leaving everything just as he found it. Through the transom he scrambled above the window, his canvas in tow, rolled up with a shoelace tied round it. And she wonders, where did my shoelace go? A truck trundled by as Micawber alit. On the side it said Park Sanitation. He bounded aboard it, ignoring the grit, and completed his peregrination. Got a ride back to his home. He returned 30 times by the following fall, and the paintings poured forth like a geyser. He fastened them all to his living room wall, and the woman was never the wiser. I think Vic likes this story. He keeps coming over to get closer. Hi, Vic. Hello. So if some July you should chance to pass by a Viridian Central Park Dale, look around for a squirrel with a gleam in his eye and some paint on the tip of his tail. And if you should visit the old carousel, look up at its uppermost part. Inside, although nobody ever could tell, a talented squirrel continues to dwell, and if you try, you can picture it as clear as a bell. This is where he lives, on the top of the carousel. Here we go. We get a peek inside Micawber's Museum of Art. Here's his front door. He's letting in his friends to see the beautiful pictures he has painted. So a really common way for an artist to become better at art is to look at artwork by a famous artist and then copy it. Here we see all his friends looking at all his beautiful, beautiful artwork. You can practice your artwork in the same way.